Moses' account of the creation of the world, and after that all the recognized scriptures that tell you the story of the righteous and the wicked. But you, my soul, have followed the second of these, not the first, and have sinned against God. And we can see in the canon the Orthodox heart and the approach of the saints and of the fathers of the church when they're reading the scriptures is that they read them and they seek to be convicted, to be brought to compunction, and to apply the types within the scriptures to their own life. And so, earlier on, he spoke of how Joseph was sold into slavery by his brothers as a type, as a prefiguring, a foreshadowing of Christ. But then he says we haven't been like Joseph. Instead of being sold in the manner that is a type of Christ, we've been sold to sin. We've sold ourselves. And so in every way, he reads the scriptures in order to develop a contrite heart before God so that he might draw near to him, that God might draw near to him. And this is because as we're humbled, as we humbled ourselves before God and utilize the scriptures in this way, we become attractive to God's grace. But the more that we spend time justifying ourselves, and perhaps, God help us and forgive us, perhaps even reading the scriptures as something in order to use them against other people, the more that grace departs from us, we find ourselves alienated from it. And so we may have what we think is a correct interpretation, and yet there was a saying from St. Theophan the Recluse, as he says, a clock or a watch can keep correct time, but no one ever thought that it had a soul. So we can be right about a lot of things, and we can turn orthodoxy into the very term itself, we can make it into what has become in the English language a pejorative. You say somebody has the orthodox opinion, it means that they're thoughtless and soulless, and they just sort of go according to routine. But we need to read the scriptures in a way that convicts us, that breaks our heart, and that brings us to a place where we genuinely cry out to God and ask him, please, come and help us, because we are lost without any defense, without you. And also to inspire ourselves to consider the ways of the righteous in the scriptures and to strive to imitate them. So to strive to imitate Abraham in his faith, to strive to imitate Moses as he interceded before God for the people and prayed that the Lord would not bring the full weight his anger on them. And even said, and then St. Paul after him said likewise, that if they're going to go, then I would be blotted out of the book of life, if it meant that they would be saved. And so you see this pattern of behavior amongst the righteous that is compassionate and always interceding and always stepping out in faith. And so it has soul, it has life, it has movement and dynamism in the way that these men and women in the scriptures relate to the living God. And so may we follow their example and learn to humble ourselves before the scriptures, before God, so that we would become attractive to his grace.